place I came to a lot when I first got here. Doggo. Po River. Starts up in the Alps behind me and runs east all the way into the Adriatic Sea. Actually, supposedly back in the day they used to take ships from here all the way down to Venice. But I like coming down here, checking out the rowers. It's a neat scene. It's kind of a nice little escape from the city. Definitely gonna miss this place. Now that I've been living in Italy for about a year, I figured maybe now is a good time to kind of give you an update, give you some tips and things that I've learned along the way that might help you if you are looking to move abroad. And yeah, recap the entire year so I don't forget this amazing time in my life. Honestly, I've gotten to see way more of the country this year than I thought was even remotely possible. Just a few weeks after I landed in Turin, I was biking along this historic seaside village of Orazzi on the Italian coast. A few weeks after that, I was hiking up to a medieval abbey built into the side of a cliff. Then I found myself kayaking across an Italian lake trying to escape a thunderstorm in the spring. And then during the summer, when it got too hot in the city, I went up exploring in the Alps with my friends Fabio and Christoph, and we found these amazing bunkers built during the Second World War. This is hands down the most interesting place that I've seen since I've been here, and I actually made a whole video about it. None of these things would have been possible without the fantastic individuals that I met early on in my expat journey. One of the first things I did when I got here was I made a concerted effort to go try and find friends and build up a new social network. And this was one of the very best decisions that I could have made at the time. Meeting new people so early on was important to me because that's really one of the main reasons I came here, to find fun, interesting people that wanted to go on adventures. So luckily for me, I managed to find an expat group that was hosting an event for new people of the city. And they said it was gonna be a lot of English speakers, so I got pretty excited because at the time I didn't know any Italian. So I went and I ended up meeting some very cool people that I owe some of my best experiences in Italy and, in fact, Europe to. Also, lucky for me, my friends have been really generous with their time and helped me with some of my residency paperwork and process, because that's also been something that's been always a challenge, really, and everything ends up taking a lot longer than you expect, but I'll get into that more in a little bit. All right, well, just got back from another post office. And they also either did not have the form or refused to give it to me and told me to go to CAF again. And too bad that CAF will also not give me the form and tell me I have to go to the post office. So basically just one hand pointing to the other. Another lesson that was really hard for me to learn is that things take a lot longer than at least I was expecting them to. I've heard that the pace of life here in Europe is much slower than the States, and while I understood it, I didn't really, it didn't really sink in until I've been living here for a very long time. And I'll give you an example. When I first arrived, you're supposed to register, and I was told that I had to wait 90 days before I could even submit my application. So right off the bat, I was 3 months behind any schedule that I had thought. And so that was kind of frustrating. Also, a lot of other processes here that they say, oh, this takes 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, literally is taken 3, 4, 5 months. So again, it's not something you have any control over. It's just something you have to sort of accept. And honestly, it doesn't stress me out quite as much anymore, but yeah, it's definitely a big adjustment. Now, one way I was able to deal with the stress of all this paperwork I had to do and all the deadlines that kept getting pushed back was to just remember one of the reasons I'm here, and that's to have adventures and explore. So I ended up doing a lot of travel this year. Traveling around Europe is not like it is in the States. You can get around really easily with a discount plane ticket or like a Eurail pass, and you're able to see like many different countries. Like where I am here in northern Italy in Torino, you're only a few hours away from France, Switzerland, Austria, and Germany's not even that far away. One of these survival techniques I learned early on was just focusing on one thing at a time. Whatever the most top priority item is what I would focus on. Because it's pretty easy to get distracted, trying to learn a new language, find a place to live, take care of all your residency paperwork, make friends, be social, keep up with everyone from back home. It's a lot. This is also one of the reasons I haven't been making as much content this year as I really wanted to. It's just one of those things that sort of fell by the wayside. But now that I've been here for a while and feel more comfortable, that's one of my goals for next year, is to surround myself with creative people and create more content for you guys to watch. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this video. Let me know if you guys have any comments or suggestions for me in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. But for now, have a wonderful, happy new year, and I'll see you guys in the next one.